Like, what are we doing?
Welcome back to This is a Takeover. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am here tonight to introduce your host, Shelby Death Ray Patterson.
Thank you, David, and welcome to This is a Takeover. I'm Shelby Ray Patterson.
And I'm Gina Bradford. Almost said Belmont. Wow. Almost went into muscle memory.
I mean, it's gonna, Belford. Yeah. It's going to take you a minute.
Yeah, that got me.
It's going to take us, also going to take other people a minute, too.
Yeah, that happened today, actually.
Well, I told you it's going to take at least like 6 months for people even to acknowledge the fact that you have a different last name.
Yeah.
Because I still was in a meeting today. I've been married now almost 3 years.
Yeah.
I was in a meeting today, and someone was like, "Is it Shelby Ray or Shelby Patterson? Because I see both on here." And I'm like, I mean, when I started this job, yes, I was Shelby Ray, but now I'm Shelby Patterson.
Because I don't think we're ever going to have the ability to change our names on any form of email.
They just did change it at work for me.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it still pops up as Shelby Ray.
Oh,
but
man.
I think it's because my coworker still calls me Shelby Ray. So I think he got real confused. I'm like, okay, like I'm still sitting here on the Zoom call with you, so I'm the same person. So it's not like someone else is going to come in.
Well, and let's be honest, in this day and age, any kind of autonomy whatsoever for women, it's asking a lot.
It's very true, especially, I mean, if you don't choose to, because we both chose to not take our own last names.
Yes.
But like, if you choose anything unconventional, like,
oh gosh, forget it. Forget it.
Well,
Katie still gets letters from her grandfather, who was at our wedding and heard our specialized welcome, Mr. Hensley and Mrs. Bearden. Mm-hmm. He still sends letters to David and Katie Hensley.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I think just it'll take a minute.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying. So just don't get offended by it.
No,
people don't care.
I'm more so just mad at my own brain.
No, but it'll take about a year for you to do it too.
Yeah.
So it'll be fine.
That's fine.
But tonight we are going to talk about Night of Champions.
Yay.
Our Saudi event, which this is our second episode.
It is.
In this week, because we just got done with like a marathon of wrestling content.
A triathlon,
so
in fact.
Yes, because they decided that Memorial Day weekend is the weekend to just kill us all.
I mean, I would prefer the 3-day weekend to a non-3-day weekend, but
I kind of wish that maybe they could do WrestleMania like that.
Yeah.
Where I get it, like April is kind of like when it's this unspoken thing, like it has to be in April.
Yeah. It's
but like we just
rule.
got done with the like grueling like week of WrestleMania, and then the next month or so, because this is the end of May at this point, right? So we have 2 WWE events and an AEW event.
Yeah.
All within the same span of like 2 days.
And this is definitely this is AEW also being like, well, we have to beat or compete with, WrestleMania. But we need to give it enough time from WrestleMania for them to think, oh yeah, like this is cool. Like, because Double or Nothing, right? Or All In. I'm sorry.
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing.
What just happened?
Is that was their first one in Las Vegas. That was like the big, huge thing. So
yeah, and I get that, and that consists of their WrestleMania, I get, which is why last year there were 15 matches. Thankfully this year it was only 9.
Yeah,
right, because that's the one that This is the Work just did.
Yes,
right. So go back and listen to that episode. It just dropped today, actually. I think
inaugural episode with Robert Bradford and Chris Barnes, but Chris has been there, but with Robert now as
for the
host.
First time as them being a tag team.
As a tag team.
So definitely go and listen to that. But we are here to talk about Night of Champions, which I found to be, I feel like the Saudi shows are getting better.
Yes.
And more palatable than they used to be.
It is going from oh, look, we allowed women here. Ooh, women are here. Ooh. To now going back to storyline, going to, yes, the women are still, from wrist to ankle and, bottom of chin, covered. But the material is not a T-shirt and baggy pants or sleep gear.
They're not in pajamas.
Yes.
They actually look like I kind of wrote down that they look like they're about to go drive like a NASCAR race.
It's exactly what it looks like.
But
kind of mixed with like Wakanda Forever kind of vibes.
Yeah, which is still like really skin tight clothing.
Yeah.
Which to me, hey, I get it. Their whole thing is that they have to be covered. And I understand that for cultural reasons and everything. But I just think it's really funny that we go from like baggy pajamas to like lycra, like skin tight cat suits.
Like, getting out of that must suck.
Oh God.
After
ugh, so gross. Ugh. But I will say, even with the men's side of things, because I feel like the matches before, there was all surface. It was like, who can we get?
Yeah.
Who is a big enough name that the Saudi Crown Prince is going to like.
Yes.
Right? So we got Goldberg. We got Undertaker.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels. All these people that probably shouldn't be here anymore.
Yeah, no.
But like they wanted them there, right?
Like the first few years clearly were, here, let us prove that it's worth your money.
Yeah.
Like, please, dear God, don't stop sending us your billions of dollars. Yeah. And we'll give you whatever you want. And now it's like they're stepping out and like into deeper waters.
Well, it feels more like an actual pay-per-view on the schedule.
Yes.
Because we're going with storylines.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, because like with this first match, so we have it's the inaugural World Heavyweight title match with Seth Rollins and AJ Styles.
A pity trophy. Not pity. What's the word?
Consolation.
That's better.
So
that's better.
Here's the thing, though. I understand why people are calling it a consolation title. They're basically so this title is not new, but they are making a new version of it. So
it's a revamp.
The World Heavyweight title has been a title. Like they even say at the beginning of this pay-per-view in the video package, Triple H is doing the voiceover. They say 14-time World Heavyweight Champion. Right? So the World Heavyweight title already has a legacy.
When did it go away?
It went away. I honestly can't remember. I don't know. I'm not that historian. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
But
listeners, you can go Google that.
Yeah, but I know that it went away.
Mm-hmm.
And now they are bringing it back, but they're touting it as a brand new title because if you look it up, the title reigns or whatever is just Seth. Right? So Seth is,
So they've
yeah, so they haven't wiped it clean because there's still a whole history of title reigns with the other one. So I think they have revamped it and now it looks completely different, and they've taken the old one and basically put the new WWE logo on top of it.
Interesting.
But I feel like with this, because they had a tournament and basically they come out after WrestleMania and Triple H says, basically no one can beat Roman and we've realized what we've done.
And now we've messed up.
So
and we're in our bed and we're making it, and this is...
And we understand that we have put everyone in a terrible situation, meaning that every man on this roster has been beaten by Roman. So now whoever we take the title, whoever takes the title off of him, it's not going to mean shit, right?
There was one part of my brain, I'm so sorry to interrupt, where I was like, there is one man, and it's Cameron Grimes, because he just got there.
No. I love our hometown boy, but no. Why?
Sorry. Please continue. It just made me giggle really hard.
I mean, he would be the first one to take it to space, but
to space,
because he'd take it to the moon. So, but yeah, so basically we backed ourselves into a corner, and now we need to come up with something else for Raw to fight for.
That other people will start to care about more and more instead of the disappointment.
Well, because now we've lost it when it comes to Roman, and now we're going to have to wait until WrestleMania next year. I really feel like that's what's going to happen. I do.
Okay, but okay. Well,
we'll get into
that later.
But so we have this title.
Yes.
And there is a tournament that started right after WrestleMania.
Yes.
And when the draft happened, which immediately was undermined once it was done, but you had Roman that was on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. So he had the undisputed belts, right? So
yeah,
whoever gets this World Heavyweight title, it's going to be the Raw Championship. And they've even said, like, this is for the Raw Championship. Like, this is for the Raw brand.
Raw Championship.
And then they did the tournament, and they included SmackDown stars.
Yeah. You guys want to explain that one?
Yeah, so everybody was really hella confused because they were just like, so if someone from SmackDown wins this title, are they going to take it to SmackDown, or are they going to be drafted to Raw? Like, what is the plan
what's happening
with this?
Here, man?
And everyone's like, I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
It doesn't matter because the draft never mattered.
Right. And then they come out, and now it's, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles, which I think a lot of people were hoping that they would use this title to elevate newer people, which I don't necessarily agree with that, because if this is supposed to be Raw's like highest title, like you need someone like a Seth, you need someone like an AJ that has the pedigree to back up winning this. That's what your IC title's for. That's what your US title's for. Like, that's what all these other titles that you have come up with are for.
If this was an NXT pay-per-view, I would definitely be saying, no, like, this is for someone who is up and coming.
Yes.
But this is not this situation.
No.
And this is I'm so sorry, but we see your efforts. Like, you've been a really hard worker for us, and you've been a good go-getter. Here, have a treat, puppy. Like, this is...
I mean, yes, I can agree with that. But it was a very good match.
Yes.
And I really, really enjoyed this match.
This was very fun. I guess I was just so surprised because it's been a hot minute since I've seen some AJ Styles.
Because he's been injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, super injured.
Yeah.
Like, super injured.
Like, literally just came back from injury.
Like,
at the beginning
injured.
of this tournament was like, hey, I'm not injured no more. Like, can I be in this?
Like, surprise.
Right. And then wins the whole SmackDown side of it, which...
Oh my gosh.
I always forget how good he is. And I know we make fun of, like, being like, no, we don't want none. We really don't.
We don't know. But it's a term of endearment. I mean, what I do want, though, is your hair care routine. I still really want to know. And I will say it every time your name is mentioned. AJ, what the heck do you do for your hair? Because it looks fabulous every freaking time you come on.
Even after a match.
Yeah, it looks so good. What's your dry shampoo, bro?
What's hilarious
what do you use?
is seeing him and Seth like comparison shots at the end, the beginning of this match. Because speaking from someone who does have curly hair and who understands what humidity, role humidity plays in. And when you are in somewhere like Saudi Arabia, where even indoors the air conditioning is warm, like I can totally sympathize.
I just feel my
that
hair
we
growing.
Start with like the nice, sleek, wet curls, and then we just evolve into this Cruella DeVille type poof.
Sami Zayn also was like that too, but we'll get to that later.
He also suffers from that unfortunate affliction.
But his is not tamed curls. He just, it's there, but he doesn't do anything about it.
Right.
And anywho.
But I feel like this match was really impressive, and I think that the two people that were in it deserve to be in it.
Yes.
And the person who won deserved to win.
Yes.
Because
it was a well-earned match.
I think that Seth is one of those like once in a lifetime wrestlers to me.
Absolutely.
And is in my top 5 and has been in my top 5 for a long time, because you literally can give him anything, and he just makes it work. He put over the Monday Night Messiah. Okay, like a gimmick that like at first
loved that gimmick,
but at first it was weird. right?
Oh, it was weird. That's why I loved it.
Right, but like
Catholic root run there.
if you were given, if that was given to anybody else, it would have been really weird.
No.
Right? But like he goes from burn it down Seth Rollins to Monday Night Messiah to this like shaman character to this like Elton John-esque fashion icon that now has a designer that designs all of his stuff for him.
Yeah, since y'all are listening, is it Balenciaga? Seth, is that who you got?
It has to be.
It's got to be Balenciaga. You got to get who you know. Also, it's cool, but I don't think it's that worth it. And that's just my opinion.
Oh, I do. I think it's 100% worth it. You see the poofy sleeves on that thing? I'm sorry, like it adds so much to his character.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it like buying it as a human that's real life. I'm not speaking of for his character. I'm speaking about me who works a desk job from 8 to 4.
Well, no, you're not gonna wear the poofy cheetah sleeves.
But that's what people. It's sold to the masses. It's for anyone to buy as long as you have a fuck ton of money.
Well, sure, but
it's perfect for him. I just don't see the real world benefits.
Oh gosh,
of Balenciaga. But that I know everyone on Instagram's like, TikTok's like,
it's beautiful though.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful to look at.
But I mean, Seth goes over with the stomp, but like not after some really hard work.
No, like really, really good.
Because they sell the knee, which was a trope during this pay-per-view, I will say.
Hang on, how many?
Selling of the left knee was very prevalent.
And then, of course, Michael Cole not being discreet whatsoever. Oh, the left knee. The left knee.
It's always the left knee.
Like, we know, Michael Cole. We can see it with our eyes. This isn't a Becky situation. We know.
Yeah. But
sorry, Becky, I love you.
I mean, I loved this match. I gave it a 4. Just because it was fun. And I think it'll be really nice to have another big star to root for, because you have Seth, who's literally going to, probably defend this very often, and is going to be the head of Raw, which he kind of has been for a while, which is probably why they gave this to him. But like,
thanks, bud.
Yeah, and now it's official, and now he has a title, and it's his first title in 4 years, which is insane to me. Yes.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Oh, because that's right. Oh, because then he was like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like so many revelations just happened.
I went through all of the matches in my mind of like, oh, yeah, he didn't win that. Oh,
this is again, when I wish that we had a video podcast version of this. Listeners, we legit just saw like the actual visual whiteboard with the red string be connected, like on her face. No. I love it.
My nickname's fitting. It's fine.
It's my favorite. Bless your heart. So yeah, I gave that one a 4.
Yep, fair 4 Regals.
So our next match is Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus.
I was ready to call this as the worst one of the night.
It was better than I thought it was going to be.
I agree. I'm not saying it's
I'm not saying
best.
It was great, but I
liked the surprise ending.
That was the part that I was going to talk about the most, actually.
It the most.
Because there really wasn't much of anything else that happened.
No, nothing else.
I mean,
Trish was better than I expected her to be.
I will give it to Trish. I feel like out of the women, the legends from the women's division that have come back, she has been the most impressive out of all of them.
It's like she's continued to train.
Well, yeah, it's very clear that she has. But
like even in the new style.
In the same breath, like she... It's one thing to be able to come back and physically look good in the ring, but to still get the psychology and actually work as a heel like she's doing right now, it's impressive to me. But it just there really wasn't much to this. Like, I know they've been building to this on Raw.
Yeah, I don't remember how this feud started, but I don't really care.
It started when, like, because Becky and Lita were tag team champions for a while.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
Just for, like, 2 seconds. And then somebody, quote-unquote, attacked Lita backstage, and then Lita just disappeared because
and she was never seen again
because her Legends contract ran out and she just disappeared, which is fine. Like, I mean, that's probably what she signed up for.
Yeah,
was for a particular length of time, and that's all she wanted to do, which is fine. But then it is revealed that it was Trish. And even though they're like, oh my God, I thought we were fries. Like, but apparently we're not anymore. So that's kind of how that started.
Cool.
And that's really all there's much to it. But the big thing that came out of this was at the end of this match, they get thrown out of the ring. Trish goes back in. Becky goes to follow her. And Zoe Stark comes out from underneath the ring, pulls Becky back down, does a Z360 on her, breaks her nose.
Becky's nose, not Zoe's nose.
Yes. Breaks Becky's nose again. Jeez. She has the most fragile nose of anyone in the business.
Well, how many times she's broken it? I mean,
either she
blow it wrong.
Either she broke it or it got real messy. I don't know what it was.
I'm sure we would have heard if it was fully broken, but yeah.
It's not Nia Jax fully broken, but I think I'm pretty sure something happened because she was bleeding at the end of the match.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Zoe throws her back into the ring, and then Zoe legit goes back underneath the ring.
She backwards
disappears. Which I'm like, I mean, you could just, crouch down a little. No, she completely committed and went back underneath the ring.
That's that NXT training.
Exactly.
That's what's up.
Well, there were travelers underneath there that she had to ask riddles to in order for them to pass.
Answer me these riddles 3.
That's why it took her to the end of the match to come out, because it took her that long to answer all the riddles.
Hornswoggle and,
I'm really going to need you guys to answer these fucking riddles. I have to jump out and do a thing in a second.
Literally, she's outside right now.
Yeah, please.
So she goes, skedaddles back under the ring, and then Trish hits Stratisfaction and wins. Which is a cool move.
It's a cool move.
It's a really
also
cool
a great
move.
pun.
It is.
It's a great name.
It's a name that for a women's finisher that I'm not mad about.
Yeah.
Unlike the Bexploder. I hate it.
Y'all, the ragged breath in between the
it's terrible. I'm sorry. That move, it's called an exploder, right? And what it is it's exactly what it sounds like. You throw your opponent over you, right? Or behind you or whatever, a suplex.
I doubt it.
But they call it the Bexploder for her, and that's the only person who their name is
every
I don't like it.
Great catchphrase that she's had has been yanked from her. No. So at this point, she's just grasping at straws. She got to come up with something.
I mean, her submission move is the disarm her. Okay,
I gotta chime in here for a second.
Of course you do.
Did you just say the exploder is exactly what it sounds like?
I did. Yes, I did. Because it is, right?
How old are you, David?
No, you said it's exactly what it sounds like, and I looked up because I was like, they fucking explode when you do it. Otherwise, it is not exactly what it sounds like.
Okay, see, my brain
that's fair.
Went dirty,
that's fair.
So, yep.
Because he usually does go that route.
I was ready,
so it was fine. No, they don't literally explode.
Then it's not exactly what it sounds
like. Okay,
He cracked himself up on that one. He laughed himself.
I'm so sorry for all of our listeners' ears. I definitely peaked on that.
I did
I'm so
too.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, I love when David's back.
Yeah.
I just love it. I love it so much. But yeah, so she then Zoe comes back out, and I always love when the refs are like, huh,
that was weird.
There's an extra woman here that wasn't here at the start of this match. Oh, okay, whatever.
Whoa, must have been watching.
And then you see Becky with a bloody fucking nose. And I'm just like, it doesn't compute with you at all.
The gears are not turning. What is it? The hamster's in the wheel, but it's not turning.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Is that not a thing that you guys?
I don't know.
Oh, it's like the lights on, but nobody's home.
Oh, I've heard that one.
Yeah,
I like how you said that as though Shelby and I are from Canada or something.
Oh,
is that not something you guys say?
Do you not
Look,
say that?
I don't want to get into phrases of my mother. We're not going to get into that because this could be a 2-hour podcast. So
you gave away our new podcast coming this fall.
Phrases from my mother.
Wait though.
Phrases from Gina's mother.
Wait, Sandra?
No, but that okay. No, we can't. We'll sit here.
We're gonna come back.
Yeah, we'll come
back.
Put a pin in that.
Yes.
We'll
Write
have
it down, David.
Discussion on that later. I mean, I gave this a 3. I didn't not enjoy it, but at the same time, I felt like
run of the mill.
All the cool shit came at the end.
But it was nice to see Zoe Starks. I mean, I guess that means that she's now over here.
She is, and she has lined herself as of this past Monday with Trish.
All right.
Which I'm here for.
I think that'll be a good mentor.
I think so too. And I really like Zoe. I liked her in NXT, and I think that Trish, now that she is staying, it seems like, she'll have some, like, be able to mentor her a little bit, and then that can set Zoe up to go forward.
I guess I just always was confused why she never went heel in NXT. She was always best friends, like, with, the EO whole moment and all that, but I don't know, it's just like it never happened. So I'm interested to see it here. I
think it'll be a good fit. We'll see. All right, so our next match is for the Intercontinental Championship with Mustafa Ali versus Gunther.
Oh, man.
So everyone knows who listens to this show, I'm such a fangirl for Gunther. I have been ever since he was in NXT as Walter.
Crazy.
And his matches are legendary with Ilya Dragunov and with everybody else he's come in contact with. But I will say, Ali really shined.
He was fantastic
in this match. And I think that this shows how good of a wrestler Gunther is.
Yeah. As if we didn't already know that. But
right, but he is able to, I know I say this all the time, but it's the Finn standard, the Finn Balor standard for me. If you can match whoever style you are in the ring with, like, you are top to me, because Gunther is a big guy.
Yeah.
Right? And Mustafa is a cruiserweight by definition. Right? So, which in theory and on paper, that doesn't really seem to match. And in old WWE, it would be like an Omos style match where Gunther would come in, do a couple power bombs, and the match would last like maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Ali would maybe get a few high spots
and then that was it.
And that would be it.
He'd be squashed.
And he would be squashed, right? But this match actually made me believe at certain points that Ali was going to win this match.
Yes.
And that, I think, is super rare when you have someone that's the style of Gunther and the style of Ali going against each other. And it shows how it can work regardless of the different styles.
Well, I think the thing that makes Gunther work so much, I can't say it. Walter Gunther work is that, yes, he matches the style of whoever he's wrestling with, but his character still shines through.
Oh, definitely.
And that, I think, is crucial. Like, yes, anybody and everybody are supposed to work really well together, but being able to still have your spots where you still see your character coming through, I think that's also important. And I mean, what's not to love about a not fully fascist dictator, just beating the shit out of people? I mean, I think fascist.
It's the light version.
Yeah,
like it's the palatable
the banners
version.
were a little the banners, y'all, were a little. Oh, David, you're confused. Okay, so remember those 3D?
No, I'm not confused. I'm just like,
he was there. He saw it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, when do the letters start rolling in? Like, Long Walk Podcast is pro-fascist.
No, that's not.
That's why I didn't say fascist light like I wanted to. No, it's weird because old, like, 80s WWE would have leaned so hard into this.
I would even still say a little 2000s.
Very true.
Because, I mean, Rusev.
he did come out in a tank. That's true. But I feel like they're just like, oh, like they are European.
Yes.
Like they see the mat as a sacred place. Like it's not like we're better than you because of an inherent like ideology, right? It's more of a, no, we're better than you because we train hard, we work hard, and we see this differently than you do. So like we are better than you by that standard.
And we have great accents.
Oh gosh.
The best accents.
I love it. I don't know what it is about like us over here in America and accents. Like it doesn't matter where you're from. Like if you don't speak with a god awful Southern accent, like it's the best, which I'm speaking for myself with that because I know that I have one. But there's something about it. I'm like, I believe what you're saying. Like, I don't know. Like, isn't that an American Dad joke, David, where it's the guy who,
I don't know what it is about that accent.
but let's do it. Like, it's, and he's like talking about, he's like, we should put bees in your open wound. And he's like, bees? He's like, yeah, no, the bees will fester and then it will like clean you from the inside. He's like, I don't know what it is about that accent. Let's do it. Like, and he does. So it's the same concept, right? Like you hear someone giving you advice from like in a British accent, a Scottish accent, or whatever.
I fell for it. My ex-husband.
It's true. You did. You did.
You sound smart like Hugh Grant's characters, but you're stupid like Hugh Grant the person.
Such a good line. Telling you, American Dad, underrated show. Like if y'all ever met, you know, David and I in actuality and in person, like that's all we do is just quote American Dad jokes to each other.
Out of all of the quotes y'all have done, I have
You've never heard that one?
No, it's the best one.
That's a great one.
We're getting way off the mark, but there was a point in which Shelby and I were in a scene together on stage where we had to fight, and we were rehearsing this at a friend's house in her yard next to the house.
Oh no!
And it was the perfect time to break out one of our favorite American Dad lines. Shelby just looked at me and went, "You and I are going to fight in a field."
And it was great because next to her house was a field.
Yeah.
And that's where we would practice. And
you and I are about to fight.
You and I about to fight in a field. Oh my God. So good. Anyway, highly recommend American Dad, but back to the wrestling.
Gunter and Mustafa Ali.
So there was one point where Ali did a walking power bomb followed by a 450 splash. Like, on Gunter, who's like huge, right? So that's what I mean by like the integrating of the two different styles, because he's not known for his power.
No.
Right?
No.
So to have...
he has it.
So he had Gunter up on the top rope, and then he does a sunset flip to try to flip him off, but like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So then he just like has him there. He's like, okay. And just starts walking and then just power bombs him, gets him in the right position, and then does the 450. Like
that's just
little things,
bonkers.
Little things like that where you can see the like, oh shit, that didn't work. Okay. Now I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to pivot and I'm going to try something else.
He's just so underutilized. And I just hope he continues to, like, I don't want him just be the pop-up match, guy, but
see, this is the first match that he's done in Saudi.
I'm just saying in general.
I know, but
that is true.
Everybody was saying like, oh, well, he's always there for the Saudi match. I'm like, actually, that's Mansoor.
Yeah.
Like Mansoor was the one.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't show, actually.
He's, he's doing the maximum male models right now, and I don't think that really would go over well in Saudi Arabia right now.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, so he is not Mansoor anymore. He is Mansoor. Ooh. Yes.
Let me pour some more wine for that one.
So I don't want to assume that they just gave Mustafa this opportunity because he is of Arabic descent, but I do think if that is the case, they should have been doing that from the beginning.
Yeah, because
these matches, or that match, sorry Mansoor, this did not compare at all. No. Like those matches with Mansoor did not compare to this match at all. This one actually felt like this was someone who was viable for the title versus someone that was like, oh, we need to get someone in here because this is for the Saudi Arabian crowd.
Yeah.
And I mean, they do that with every country. It's not just with the Saudis. Like they do it in Canada all the time. They do it in England all the time. Like they say that the hometown guy. I mean, they did with Selena Vega.
Absolutely.
She's from Queens.
Yeah.
and they for Backlash. I mean, yes, her family is from Puerto Rico, but she is not actually from Puerto Rico.
Yes.
But they do it all the time. Is what I'm meaning. But I gave this a 4.
Yeah, 4 Regals.
Because this was super fun. And again, they had me believing for a hot second that he was actually going to win, even though I knew he was not going to win this.
Also,
but I feel like he didn't need to win this. He needed this to showcase himself. And I think
he nailed it.
He has been underutilized for a very, very long time. And I don't know if I have 100% faith that WWE is going to put the rocket on him and do more stuff with them, but
we can hope, but we've been hoping for a while.
Right. We can acknowledge the fact that they did it here and it worked.
Also, can we acknowledge the hair change?
No. I don't want to.
Also, can we acknowledge my campaign slogan, hope is a mistake?
No, I will not acknowledge that either. Because that is not my mantra.
Do you need a hug?
I told David.
Okay.
I'm going to get him like a little figurine that says hope on it, and I'm gonna keep it on his desk, even if it's tiny. It's still there.
I'm just gonna imagine that every time we come in, it's gonna be in another place because he's thrown it somewhere. And he's thrown it in the trash. It's up in above his cabinets.
It'll be he'll remember though.
You're gonna come in for a podcast and find that I tripped and fell on it, and it's like lodged in my neck.
Oh my God, David! Now you just ruined my gift.
This imaginary gift that doesn't exist.
Now I don't want to get it for you anymore. Anyway. Moving on. So our next match is for the Raw Women's Championship. This is Asuka versus Bianca Belair.
Oh, also, before we really start into this match.
Yeah.
Speaking back on the attire for the women, I kind of like this attire for Asuka more than her normal gear. I really like her normal gear. Please don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I don't know. It was like half of it was velvet, half of it was pleather. It was like you clearly know she made it, or maybe Bianca made it for her.
It was pretty cool. I will say this is the most clothing I think I've ever seen Asuka wear.
Ever.
But it was sick. Mm-hmm. I approve.
I just wanted to give that little caveat real quick.
I want to ask how you feel about this match.
So at first, I was kind of a little but not because y'all know I love Bianca.
Yeah.
I love Bianca. But I've been saying for a while that it's time. We've talked about it. Mm-hmm. It's time.
She's lost the crowd.
She has.
She's lost the crowd.
She lost the crowd as soon as Puerto Rico in Backlash.
Yeah.
That was the deciding immediate factor.
Yeah,
but I also was not as engaged in this one at like when they announced it.
Yeah.
Because we've seen this.
Well, this was a rematch from WrestleMania.
Exactly. And so my immediate response with seeing something like that, having, been through what we've been through with something like that, it makes me go, like this is lackluster. This is, toss this.
There's only so much that you can do. And I think this is what, again, like the person that I am able to compare this type of scenario to is Roman.
Yes.
Because this is the same situation. We keep putting Bianca up against the same people every single time, and we're expecting a different result. Now, this time, we actually did get a different result.
Yes.
But I had no faith going into this match that that's what was going to happen.
Exactly. I'm going to say this. This could have been on a Raw or SmackDown.
Oh, absolutely.
And I would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
In fact, it probably would have made a bigger pop if it had been on a Raw or SmackDown with just not expecting it. Because what was that? Oh man, I remember that one title one time. It was literally like the craziest. I'll think of it later, listeners. But it was this whole like big thing, kind of similar. Like it was a build. It was when we started watching.
Okay.
And this person had this title for 5 freaking ever. And then we had just watched one of the big pay-per-views. And then like the next night we were watching, you know, Raw in your old apartment. Mm-hmm. And literally it was like a roll-up one hit. And then they grabbed that belt and then they took it and they ran off. And I remember just being like, wait, like it wasn't WrestleMania.
Uh-huh.
But it was one of the, you know, pay-per-views. I just remember being like, this is a bigger pop to me because I'm not expecting it. I'm just expecting everyone to come out and sulk.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think I can agree.
I'll look it up later, y'all.
That with this match in particular, I still think it had a place on the pay-per-view.
Yes.
I think the next match we're about to talk about didn't have a place on the pay-per-view. But I wonder
what match that is.
I do think this one did. Only because of the ending. Now, again,
it's set up.
You can go back and watch this, guys. It's really just fast forward to the end because the end is the only part that really like.
It's not that it's bad. It's just we've seen this. Like
that's my point. Like we've seen it. We've seen it from both of them. We've seen it from Bianca. We've seen Bianca beat so many people
at this point. Yeah,
that it's becoming repetitive at this point. And now I can kind of just like how I can with Roman matches. I can script out exactly what's going to happen and when it's going to happen.
And I mean, I've been saying for a while, and it's like there have been hints, there have been glimmers of her making that big change.
Well, and she had to lose the title, to be able to do a heel change. So I do think it's coming.
There's in the wind
with her and the Street Profits, actually.
And I didn't even realize I have a big red Solo cup right here.
I would love for them to team up, actually.
Yes.
And go against AJ Styles group with Mia Yim. You know, what's the OC? That's who it is.
Oh, you know what? Okay.
Or something like that, right? Have something else for her to do because she literally has made it to the top of the mountain in the singles division. And now why not put her with Montez and Dawkins and just see what happens, right?
I mean, if we're going to go real crazy, why not just have it be her and Montez and then they start intergender wrestling?
They're not going to.
Let me dream.
I'm just saying.
Where's the Hope figurine? I want the Hope figurine.
My Hope figurine for that was squashed a long time ago. They have had that opportunity with the Garganos ever since.
Oh, you're right.
They teased it on NXT and they gave it to be like this much. Oh. And they have not capitalized on it. Both of them are on the main roster.
Hunter, I know you're listening.
They have the means to do it. They have literally like the best intergender couple to do it.
And then that would be those two right there. Mm-hmm. And then that's the match. That's the first intergender match.
But they're going to call it a mixed tag, and they're never going. It's never going to be on any promotion other than an indie promotion. It's never going to happen just because they're too scared to do it. I'm gonna call you out right now. You're too scared to do it.
Do it, you cowards.
Exactly. Give me what I want.
And what we want is to see men and women beating the shit out of each other.
That's all I'm asking.
We're just asking for equality.
Thank you. Anyway, so
the
next month, the domestic dispute pay-per-view.
Why not?
I mean, isn't that... Never mind. Yep, keep going. I was going to make a joke about Rhea Ripley, but no.
Oh.
The first pay-per-view to be held in a trailer park.
Well, I mean, the ending on this is what I feel like caught everybody's attention because Asuka goes for the mist. The mist, which everyone is having such a fun time saying.
The mist.
She goes for the mist again. Bianca ducks. Mm-hmm. Because obvi, right? Because she's done this how many times now? Like,
obvi.
I would hope Bianca would see it coming when she rears back and then, goes
and
forward.
You can actually see her being like, oh, no, not this time, mother.
Yeah, and so she ducks. And then all of a sudden, Asuka kind of rolls out to the side and the ref is like really like invested in Bianca like not being on her when she's on the ropes this entire match. And I'm like, why is she up her ass? Like,
it was
time?
So weird.
But it made sense at the end because then it paid off because Bianca's like, fine, I'm off the ropes, like whatever. And it gives Asuka time to spit more mist in her hand. And then Bianca Asuka lets her get her up for the KOD, then swipes her eyes with the mist on her hand.
It's just the nastiest
She drops her.
And she's screaming
and she like gets down on her, is like on her knees or whatever. And then Asuka hits her from behind and then pins her and wins the match.
Woo!
I thought that was so like the most creative way to do the mist.
It was so refreshing.
Because it was
not the mist part, but
I'm sure that
that
sucked.
hurt like a mother, but it was so nice.
It was because it was different. It wasn't Asuka's gonna blow mist in someone's face again. But like she did it and missed and then was like, oh, whoa, shit, I got to be innovative. I got to think of something else to do.
I mean, it's all still in my mouth. So
Right. So just like, like get some off my teeth and like, rub, which gross, but still.
Cuties.
But yeah, I just thought it was a really innovative way to end the match in a way better way than what they had been doing.
It was a breath of fresh air.
But I feel like they had been like hinting at it a little bit that like
Get out.
I was gonna let it go, but like I don't acknowledge puns. Anyway.
I am the pun chief. Acknowledge me.
No. Ew.
David's even smiling.
No, David.
No, don't mute me.
Yeah. Oh, so it's just me. Yay. Okay, so Gina's gone now.
Sorry. I take it back.
Okay, there she is.
Oh my gosh, I've never been abused like that before.
Oh, he's muted me before. It's fine.
Gotta rethink my life.
But they were kind of hinting a little bit at this happening, just because they had touted her as being like the longest reigning women's champion, and whenever that happens, like you kind of feel like an end is coming.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish that she could have gone out more as a heel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
it'll be
like
really
a sprinkling. Still, and it's like, okay, but we've seen the sprinkling. It's time to let that loose a little bit.
Yeah. So
let it out.
I mean, I gave this a 3.5 just because of the end.
I did not.
You did not?
I gave it a 2.5.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I gave it actually, like, I would move it to a 3, like, with the ending and for the ending, but...
I don't think it was horrible. I just think that, like, we've seen it before, so technically speaking, it was a good match, but, it was boring.
Like, but, I mean, that's why I gave it a lower score, because I was like, okay, guys, we've seen this. Like, like, come on, refresh. This is to the writers. Come on, refresh. But,
and I think with Asuka being champion now, I think it will be a nice refresh to the system for the women's side on Raw anyway.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm burping so much. I'm trying so hard.
Do you hear Butterbean? She's trying to give her opinion and expression. Butterbean.
Not yet, baby.
Did you like that Asuka won?
No, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's trying to tell you that she did, but I don't want to burp every 5 seconds.
She speaks through burps, so
and hiccups. I'm surprised I haven't hiccuped yet. But yeah, so I mean, we have to talk about the next one, but
You're so upset.
No, I'm not upset. Upset's the wrong word. I'm disappointed in this match.
That's worse.
Hey, I got to get my mom phrases in.
Oh, it's there.
Right? Like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed in the choice that you made. Like,
that's savage.
So
All right, Jesus Christ, Shelby, I'm sorry. I'll stop making dad jokes.
Oh, man. So we have the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is Natalya versus Rhea Ripley, which we all knew how this was going to go. But I did not think that they were going to take it to the extreme that they did.
I like, you've been saying how, like, disappointed you are in this match, but I'm the most disappointed because I was really looking forward to watching that one be such a fast squash, but I had to be in the bathroom. I'm sorry my bladder had to go pee, and it literally was 2 minutes.
Actually, I timed it.
Yeah.
When I went back and watched it, it was 57 seconds.
Okay, so okay, it's nice to know that I do not take that long in the bathroom, but but seriously,
we've been meaning to talk to you about that.
I can think of a couple of other people.
This is our intervention.
Yeah. You pee too fast.
You pee way too fast. Like, we really need to talk about it. But okay, I'm not going to say that I am mad that it was short. I am glad that it was short because I did not want this match to happen.
None of
because
us did.
After the match with Zelina Vega at Backlash, it was a good match.
Yeah.
Did I think Zelina was going to win? No, absolutely not. But I really did like that she was her first challenger after WrestleMania, after she won. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, maybe this can be the start of like a Piper Niven coming in, or like a Tegan Knox coming in. Who we don't know where these people are. They're sitting back there waiting, right? So I was hoping that this was going to be the turn of that, right? Like we were going to get these newer people, because at Backlash we had Io versus Bianca, right? Which that was super fun.
Great match.
Zelina versus Rhea. That was super fun. And then it's announced that it's Natalya versus Rhea. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, how many times are we going to keep pretending that Natty is still good?
I want to bring up the fact that Natalya has not been in a story-based match in God knows how long.
Mm-hmm. They just keep putting her in these title matches.
It's Natalya. We all know who she is. She's one of the heart,
It's Canada.
Oh, we got it.
So
cat ears.
Right.
Like,
and
what the...
and I get it. Like, she's a company girl, and she will always answer the call, as Katie says. Like,
But there's so many other people in the back that can answer that call faster. Who are literally on the sidelines.
I understand. But at the same time, was this a decision that, like, was made because the Saudis wanted her? Or is this, She was
the first one to have a match with Lacey Evans.
Exactly. So she...
Maybe they do like her.
Is very well known, right? So I get it. But I am glad... I am surprised, but I am glad that they went the length that they did, because I think everybody in the back knew that everybody knew how this match was going to go. So why even let it go 5 minutes? Because exactly what's going to happen. So basically the whole match, so since you missed it, I'll tell you what happened.
Literally, yeah.
So the entrances were actually longer than the match itself. You had... And also I wrote down, I feel like Saudi Arabia is the only place that Dominic Mysterio will not get booed. Because they're like, nah, he knows what's up. Like, he gets it, right? Like... I mean, if you look at all of the stuff, like in America, he gets booed out of every single arena. But if you go back and you listen to that Saudi crowd, crickets when his name is said. And I'm like, okay, interesting.
I gotta go back and watch that.
So they brawl outside the ring because Dominic's like basically taunting Natalya, being like, "You don't stand a chance. Like, true. You this is gonna suck for you. Like, I'm just gonna sit over here." And Rhea just decks her out of nowhere, pushes her outside the ring, throws her against literally every single stairs, and then throws her back into the ring. Does a deadlift riptide on her. 1, 2, 3 matches over. I legit had told you in order everything that happened.
Oh my gosh.
That was the match.
That's a little satisfying though.
It was, actually.
That's really satisfying.
But so when I say that I'm disappointed, it's not that I was disappointed in the outcome of the match. I was just disappointed that it happened in general, because I feel like, okay, like obviously no one really wanted this match to happen because they only let it go for under a minute. Right. So like, to me, that sucks for Natalya. Also, it was her birthday. Was it really? It was really her birthday.
Hey, maybe she had to go somewhere.
Yeah, go.
Yes, Saudi Arabia.
Her birthday party in Saudi Arabia.
Happy birthday,
I mean,
Natty.
if Brock can do it, why can't Natty do it?
Oh my God. Well, if that was the case, she wouldn't be third to the last match.
That's fair. That's fair.
Happy birthday, Natty. We're taking you to a place where people would rather kill you than look at you.
Exactly.
Oh.
But yeah, so I didn't even know how to rate this, because it literally just like, it wasn't a match.
I would say 0.5 Regals.
I mean, I will say 2.
Okay.
I'll give it a 2.
Give it a half a Regal for every move that was done in the ring.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll give it a 2.
That's fair. I'll give that, yeah.
It told no story.
Nope.
It served no purpose.
Yeah.
Really. So 2 is all that I can really give.
I do, speaking of Rhea, 2 little quick points.
Yeah.
This is a very strong character for a woman.
Yeah.
In this country. So I'm glad that it happened for the point of seeing that it can be done.
Okay. Yeah.
I appreciate that even story-based stuff for women is really coming through, but specifically having Rhea, that's a strong choice.
That is very true.
That's a strong choice.
And having Dominic still come out with her, I really hadn't thought about that.
Because that's why I was so surprised when you were like, I was like, I kind of want to see where this, like, thinking about it, like, from the perspective of, like, this country, where, you know, there are a lot of views that are, you know, very different into societies today of American society. I'm surprised that they had that, you know, reaction of, like, quiet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hadn't really thought about it that way, but no, you're right, because at the end too, like, he like jumps into her arms.
It was so funny.
And is like, I told you, like all up in Natty's face and everything, but like she is
rocking him like
a baby. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I think
kind of forgot where you were for a second.
Yeah.
Right? Weird.
Like thinking back to when we started with this.
Oh yeah, we're
no
like
character.
Can't even.
No, it's just wrestle. Don't know.
Just wrestle.
But also point number 2. Barnes and I had a great conversation when we were going to watch on the first night. Now guys, don't laugh at me. I know.
Continue.
I can't have nice things. I know the whole joke about I'm your poppy.
Yes.
I get that. I get the whole, because that was Eddie and Ray having that fight over Dominic.
Who's the daddy?
Yes. I did not. Now, I want to specify this. I did not understand that the shirt that Rhea wears is an exact copy of what Eddie would wear. Mm-hmm. But it just says, I'm your mommy. Like, I understood the joke, but I was trying to explain this to Chris in the car. I was like, no. I know the lore. I understand the lore. I just didn't realize that the shirt print was literally identical. That's all I was saying.
I understand the lore.
I understood the lore, the reference. I just wanted to clarify that very quickly.
You see, Gina, some couples have a special relationship where they call each other nicknames like mommy or poppy.
Get out of here.
There's a certain subculture in which that sort of thing is more prevalent.
I have actually found myself now, because of the acclaimed, of finding myself saying the word now, because at first it would give me a visceral reaction.
I still care.
But I don't mind.
I'm sorry, which word?
Daddy.
No.
Oh, okay.
But also, I won't lie.
I thought you were going to say Dom.
But no, it's also because of Pedro Pascal.
Well, that's different.
And he's definitely a daddy. That's what I'm going to say about that one. But those were my 2 quick points before we left the conversation. I just wanted to bring those up, and I thought you find them entertaining.
No, and that's valid. I honestly hadn't thought about it in that perspective.
Yeah, it's just, I was thinking about it a couple of days ago, and it's just like this is crazy.
It is. So
this is crazy.
I think that, and there is rumor that they may give Dominic the Money in the Bank briefcase. There's rumor of that, and I wouldn't be mad at it.
No, but I kind of want. Who do we want to have it? We talked about this literally the other day.
LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was the last 2 of yeah. What is it? He says my shoes.
Yeah.
What's the thing he says? He accidentally goofed that up. It's on Botchamania all the time.
Oh, yeah, something about shoes.
My shoes. And then he goes, did I say shoes? Ha ha. But if it was the last 2 of them, I'd be down for that.
But I feel okay. So we're talking about this way longer than we need to.
Yes.
But with this next match, I forgot to mention that the very first match of the night was actually considered the first main event of the night.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that too.
Because this is a night
blocked that out of my head
that had 3 main events.
That's so stupid.
One of which was the very first match of the night.
Because that makes sense.
And now we are just now getting to our second main event of the night, which would make sense because it's the second to last match of the night, which is Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, which I wish I cared more about this.
I don't give a flying shit.
I don't know if it's because it's Brock Lesnar, and I kind of go through phases where I'm like, okay, I'm cool with him again, and then now I don't care, and now he's changed it up a little bit, so I kind of care again. Like I just, to me, he's the same always, right? But like I feel like now he's Cowboy Brock, he's Yellowstone Brock, right? Which is hilarious to me
because that's just him in real life now. Apparently,
it's not a character.
No, it's just
legit
him.
Owns cows.
And see, this is what I want to bring this up because we've talked about this on this podcast.
Yes,
where we keep being like, yeah, Brock just wants to do. Sorry, I'm gonna burp.
Nice.
Brock just wants to do what Brock wants to do, and then when he really cares about something, he will wrestle to his full ability.
It's the Randy Orton syndrome.
Yes.
That's what we call it, meaning that he shows up when he wants to and he doesn't when he doesn't.
And the more I sit here and think about that, and the more we've discussed that, it's bullshit. Okay. It's horseshit, because the more I think about it, I'm like, okay, like I get like there's a couple of days like in my life where it's like, you know what, work, really not feeling it. Like I get that. I get that. But when it's been years of you not giving a shit until it's like certain things, it's like go home, like find a new, like I'm not saying it just because it's just frustrating, because it's like there are so many other people who clearly are in the back who would give anything to be in that spot.
You know what the difference is, though?
What?
Brock can afford it.
Yeah.
But is that because the system keeps perpetually giving it to him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
like this is what I'm saying. I'm saying like
Brock,
if you want better matches from Brock, you need to like, you as in the listeners here who are clearly in WWE.
If somebody goes to Brock and pitches him a match that he doesn't want to do, he can just go, no.
He did
it.
He did it with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, he can just fuck off into the sunset and
go
milk a cow. And
there was a match
worse for wear.
that was pitched to him. He was supposed to go against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, and he decided to go against Omos instead. Right? So
also,
he didn't want to, so he didn't. Right? So, but
I'm saying we're still like
we perpetuated this behavior.
Yes.
Right? So but this is something that
and this is what we
has been like this way before now, right? And Vince has let this happen.
And that's
right.
The thing.
So you can't change what is now innate in the system.
Unless he had a Shelby to say, I'm not mad, but I am disappointed in the choices that you've made.
He just, sometimes people, they just need a mom.
Also, still, because I learned this weekend about his wife, Sable, 12 years older than him.
Yeah.
I learned that fun fact. Did not know that.
Again, I love that this is what we're talking about for their match versus what actually happened.
But that's what I'm saying. There's nothing that's interesting. And I just feel bad for Cody, because it's like he's already got shat on. Now at this point, 3 times.
Well, and I think the whole point of this one was, which I get the whole coming back from injury adverse. This is a phrase that I am stealing. Okay. I am stealing from a channel that I watch called Wrestle Talk.
I was wondering if it was Wrestle Talk.
They said it, and I just find it hilarious.
What is it?
They call it his adversity. Because when he pulled his pec and it was all purple and gross, but he still wrestled, they called it they said he was fighting through adversity, right? That was kind of the whole thing. And so they called it his adversity, and now the adversity is a character all its own. And I just find it really funny.
Solo was taking inspiration.
Exactly. Solo saw that and was
I can have an adversity.
and this is what I'm gonna do now.
My titty.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
But
I love it.
So this is the Aversa titty all over again, right? Because Brock supposedly broke his arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right before the show, and he's like
So broken.
The arm is so broken, you guys. Like
so broken.
it's broken and has a titanium lined cast.
When you
okay,
make up that much amount of shit, there was nothing wrong with you.
No, and the cast itself was not a full arm cast.
No,
it was legit. It was
a brace.
It is an extended wrist brace.
Yes,
at best, right? So
bare minimum.
And because I even asked that night when we were watching it, I was like, does he have a wrist brace on? Like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
Is this even a cast? And then I totally missed until I went back and watched it again. He used it as a weapon
he did.
throughout the entire match.
If I can't have my belt, I'm gonna have something.
But here's the thing. It was not a stipulation match. It was just a regular match.
So
could you not have been DQ'd for that?
Yeah.
Because he used his cast as a weapon in front of the ref.
No, it's
the
clearly
entire
a part
time.
of his arm because this is his new arm now.
I don't buy it. I really don't.
I kind of want to sit down with the people who are training these refs. I want to know because like all wrestlers have classes when they're like not performing in like pay-per-views and on Raw and SmackDown and all that.
Right.
Like those classes or quote classes. Is there one for refs? Because I really want to know, one, who the shit is teaching that class. Two, what are the techniques to avoid seeing stuff?
Oh,
because
God.
I want to sit in a master class of that. And then three,
there's obviously not a class for that because they're so bad at it.
no, I'm believing there is, and that it's like a part of like the curriculum of like how clearly to
Is being bad
most
at it?
obviously miss shit.
Okay, that's fair. That's
like,
fair.
Like it's like clown school.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I'm feeling that vibe.
Okay.
I'm feeling
I mean, David, you've said that, all they have to do is just call you and you'll teach, character classes and stuff for them.
My God, would I love to try to teach acting to wrestlers.
There's
For like 2 days.
Just
By day 3,
yeah.
you're going to find me in my hotel room with a
drunk.
bottle of whiskey and a loaded pistol.
You've like smoked like 20 packs of cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
My neighbors are complaining about the smell.
No, but I think you're right, though, because
Seriously. It's only gotten worse.
I thought about this as I was watching this match again, because again, when we watched it the night of, I totally missed this.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because I just totally checked out of this and just didn't even care.
We didn't.
But yeah, he used it as a weapon. Commentary was saying repeatedly throughout the match that he had decided to use it as a weapon.
But he's
during
the good
match.
guy.
But he's the good guy.
He's the good guy.
Like,
Good guy can use weapon against big bad.
it's fine, right?
Sorry, I felt a little Kalia there.
But he still lost.
Yeah.
Because he obviously, Brock is like, well, fuck you in your arm.
Please do your Brock impression again. It was perfect. Fuck you in your arm.
Fuck you in your arm. And I'm just going to lock the Kimura lock in for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And make you pass out, which is exactly what happened. So, I don't know. It wasn't interesting to me.
It wasn't creative. It was, I mean,
It was.
am I correct in trying to remember that Cody won?
No, Cody lost. I just said he lost.
I was incorrect.
No, he lost.
Yeah. Oh, big. Yeah, he got. Oh, that's right. I said it earlier. He got shot on 3 times. So yeah.
Yeah, because he lost at WrestleMania.
Yep.
He won at Backlash.
Oh, that's right. Backlash.
And
He did
then-
one. Okay.
yeah.
I just switched the order.
You're on your way, Gina. You already have the memory of a WWE ref.
Hey, I nailed it. Hey, I'm putting in my application right now.
Which also, if we were going to use it as a weapon, he needed to have busted his face open again. Because at Backlash, he had that nasty gash to the head.
Yeah.
Which actually kind of made the match a little bit better.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm actually saying that blood made the match better, but it did.
You know, write that down, David. On this day of our Lord, May 31st, 2023.
No, but I think in that instance, it like raised the stakes because you're like, oh shit. Like,
yeah,
he actually has like Brock Lesnar has a crimson mask on his face. Like, it was a lot. But with this, I'm like, oh, well, why didn't you just bust him back open again if you're going to go that far as to use it as a weapon the entire time? It just didn't, they had a plan and it just didn't make sense, I don't think. And I'm pretty sure they're setting up for round 3.
God.
Well, because think about it. Like, he won one and he lost one.
Person who is listening, because we've discussed this.
Yeah.
Go into the back room, tell them to fuck off, and spin the wheel that I know y'all have still as a prop that you just put Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc. You just borrow that one from NXT. You can give it back. Just put random people's name that are in the back that don't do anything and just spin the damn wheel.
Yeah.
Just come on at this point.
Well, and I mean, if it's not at Money in the Bank, it's going to be at SummerSlam. I think Money in the Bank, it doesn't make sense, right? But yeah. I think it will probably happen at SummerSlam, and because we have to have trilogies, like we have to use Cody's phrase, we have to finish the freaking story.
I guess that's what my thing is like this is the third one. This was the third one.
Well, against Brock, he's only gone against Brock twice. Because WrestleMania was Roman.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Right. So remember.
I said he got shot on 3 times and then I mixed my own brain up.
We didn't finish the story. So we decided to not finish that book entirely. And we put it back on the shelf and took another book and decided to start reading again. And then we still haven't finished the story on this one. So Cody Rhodes is never going to freaking finish a book ever. So that's
oh my gosh. You're right. And when you're right, boss. You're right.
So now we can move on to our final match
what did
of the
we
night.
give this for Regals?
I gave it a 3.5. I know. I don't know why I wrote down 3.5.
I give it a 2.
I don't know. I don't even know anymore for this pay-per-view. Like, I mean, I feel like there were matches
non-applicable Regals.
I feel like
we just don't give a shit.
There were matches that were really good that I was super into, and then there were ones like these where I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready to go home now.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. This whole pay-per-view kind of felt that way to me. Like it started out really hot, and then as we got to the end with our 3 main events, it just didn't really land at the end. So these last 2 matches to me, I don't even really remember that much about.
Yeah.
But for our last match, which is our 3rd main event of the night, is
because that makes sense
for the tag team championship, which when this was like announced, my knee-jerk reaction was to be mad because I was just like, why are we putting him in this? Like, why does he have to be in this? But then I remembered why we're doing this, and then I was happy about it.
Yes.
So you have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, who are the tag champs right now, versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. And I was like, why are we even giving people an idea that Roman could win another belt?
But the backstory
was awesome.
It's awesome.
And just the fact that Sami Zayn was able to set foot in Saudi Arabia for the first time.
For listeners who don't know, he is a practicing Muslim who, because of his background and heritage of being Syrian and being actively opposing of the Saudi government, he has never been allowed to step foot or not even travel. Like he's not allowed in the country until this moment in his life.
And this actually sparked a lot of protest from people on the roster, like Kevin Owens. A lot of people refused. Okay, well, if he is not allowed, then
I don't want to go.
I don't care how big the paycheck is. I'll pass.
And it's not just like a couple of people, and it's also just for the sheer blood money of it anyway. Like when that started,
yes.
I mean, wasn't John Cena one of the ones that was like, I will never go over there?
I don't know about that.
I think that was something. I won't quote my sources on that.
But I feel like there was a moment in the show that was earlier where they cut to Kevin and Sammy backstage, and first it was just Kevin, and then Sammy came on screen, and Kevin got a big pop, right, as he always does, but the pop that Sammy got when he came on screen, and just hearing that and knowing where we are was incredible to me. And then him coming out in his traditional garb, and then speaking in his native language.
The Arabic promo he threw down was so like goosebumps.
Which I did enjoy that they introduced Roman and Solo first because they're the challengers.
Which already blew my mind because I was like, oh snap.
Well, it's because he doesn't have that title.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Yeah, and it's for those titles.
I was thinking of the other like way where it's like, oh, if they are coming to the ring first, then they're going to be the ones that lose.
No, it's just because they.
Damn you dogs.
Yeah,
teaching me that crap.
I mean, it can happen sometimes, but it's not a hard and fast rule like he says it is. But to have Paul Heyman kind of interrupt the announcer and take the mic and be like, actually, I'm going to make the announcement, and because you don't do it properly or whatever.
Yeah.
And then to have Micro start to announce Sammy and Kevin, and Sammy just gently takes the mic.
Like, oh, excuse me.
And starts cutting a promo like to the Saudi crowd, and just it was awesome.
I think I saved it. Hang on.
Yeah.
I think I saved the actual Arabic. Let me make sure I did.
Like the translation of it?
The translation of it. Because it's so good.
Oh, I bet. And that's something that they did with Damian Priest in Puerto Rico as well.
Yeah.
They had him cut a promo in Spanish, which I thought was really, really cool, and I think is a really nice touch that they've added, because like you can't ignore where these people are from. Yeah. And I think that we're finally acknowledging the fact that people are from other places other than America or Canada. Like there are other places that people can, exist.
So it says, calm down, because he was trying to calm down Roman and them. Pray to the prophet, which is it's like a turn of phrase for everyone, where it's like, like in Arabic, you're always constantly, like everything you do, everything you say is for Allah.
Yes.
We're in an Arab country. We have an Arab champion. We're going to do this in Arabic. Introducing the prize fighter. And then he says in English, Kevin Owens. And then he says, and Sami Zayn. And I was just, oh man,
that's really cool.
It's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's so freaking cool. I had goosebumps like from the tips of my toes to the top of my head. It was just so awesome.
Well, I feel like whenever a promo or an intro is done in a different language.
Yeah.
And there are
back to the accents.
There are no subtitles. There's no translation. There's no like anyone saying anything afterward to tell you what they're saying. They're like, no, whoever understands this,
it's for them.
We're having a moment right now.
Yes.
And I really enjoy that, because it doesn't have to be for the masses. Like it can be for a smaller group, and in this case, everyone in the arena.
Yeah.
Like it can be personalized, like for this specific group of people.
Yeah.
And it's what makes just sports in general, not just wrestling, but like sports in general, so welcoming and so like encompassing and worldly, right? Yes. Because wrestling isn't only done in America. If anything, like we're one of the last ones to get it.
Yeah.
So like
we're just the one with the most money that we throw at it.
Right. So to acknowledge and going to these places, because they're going overseas a lot more and having more big time pay-per-views. Like the next one is in London. Yeah. Which is, again, not a huge, like crazy country they've never been to before, but they don't do a lot of big pay-per-views in other countries anymore.
Well, it's also just because, with COVID, that like derailed that for so long.
Well, it did, but
it wasn't still this big thing to go to anywhere other.
Well, because I think Puerto Rico opened a lot of eyes to what it can potentially be.
I would go if they went back. I would consider. If I won the lottery, I would consider going because I've always wanted to go to Puerto Rico.
But here's the thing about this match, though, because again, I kind of want to cut to the end.
Yeah,
because it was a good match, and I would suggest people go watch it because the Roman soliloquies aside, it was still the the bloodline soliloquies aside, it was fine. I don't think that this storyline is about Roman anymore. I think it is. And
I think that's why we like it.
Yes. And I think it's about Sammy and KO, and it's about the Usos.
And it's even like stepping a little bit away from Sammy and Kevin.
A little bit, because
not like a leap.
No,
but like it's like a. And we see what happens. It's like, oh, look at my hands are in the air.
Well, because they've been creating this descent between Solo and the Usos, right? Like they did it at Backlash, where it was
started there,
right? And Solo is kind of Roman's guy now, exactly. But I feel like they've been building because the Usos have really been trying to get back on Roman's good side.
One of them has.
Well, this has just been as of late.
Yes,
both of them had been trying for a long time, and then now you had some dissent with not Jay, but with Jimmy, which is different than what we've been doing
because it was flipped.
Right, because Jay was the one who was straying and like
you were the one.
You were my brother. Exactly. Great impression, by the way.
I've been working on it.
But I think that's what made the ending so shocking.
Yeah.
Because lest we forget, the bloodline kind of disintegrated.
It's just like, I mean, analogy is weird, but like you pull that like bone out of that barbecue, out of that rib, and it just falls right off. It wasn't even like, you had to pull it a little bit. It was like just whoosh.
What was hilarious
that was the most southern analogy
me, though,
I think I've made in a while.
I mean, hey, I got it. I understood it.
Oh my gosh.
If the boot fits.
Yep.
Exactly. But I think making it be Jay, Jimmy, that also betrays Roman, I think makes it even more spicy.
Because the word in my brain was spicy.
Yeah, because now both of them have kind of betrayed Roman at this point, right?
Yeah.
Because Jay didn't actually hit him with a chair.
No.
Like Sammy did. But
Jay was the one that was so pulled to
he was
Sammy.
So wishy-washy about it. He wasn't fully back on board until Jimmy was like, okay, like suck it up, bro. Like, let's just go.
Yeah.
But for Jimmy to come out, because basically the whole thing that sets it up is the Usos come down and they do chicanery like they always do.
Oh, big surprise.
Roman's like, I told y'all to stay away.
Like I
blah,
did not
blah,
want
blah.
you down here.
Exactly. And he pushes them to the point where
literally he starts pushing on Jay,
which I think tells such a better story that the reason why Jimmy super kicks Roman is because he's pushing up on Jay.
He's pushing on his brother.
Exactly.
It's not that he was being pushed. It was his brother. It's like, you can't push my brother. It's my job. Like,
well, and it shows that like he can go back to him and be like, I was defending you, so now you got to stick with me.
Yes.
Right? Because Roman's not going to stand up for you.
He doesn't love us, care about us, whatever.
Exactly. So I think it tells a better story to set it up that way, which I have enjoyed about this whole Bloodline saga. And I think that going forward, if we can have more infighting, and then let I almost said Cammy as Sammy and Kevin.
Oh,
that can be their tag team name is Cammy.
Name.
Yeah. So Cammy can go off and do their own thing, and maybe build up the tag division. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the Usos and Roman and Solo and Paul Heyman can just kind of in fight with each other.
Plot twist that it's a wrestling match against Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. Because there's no one left.
There's no one left. Who else is going to betray him now? You know?
Great.
I mean, I actually didn't give this one a score. I forgot to give it a score.
I mean,
in
storyline, I'd give it a 3.5, 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
for storyline.
Yeah. I
don't remember much of the match.
Well, that's kind of how their matches have been since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because again,
they had the peak already.
Right. So we're kind of coming down from that high of, okay, now he's beaten Cody. Now what do we do with the Usos who have lost the tag titles? Like, let's go in this direction. And I think having their matches be more story based is better than what we were getting.
Yes.
I just think it makes them a little bit less memorable because you're so focused on the story. And this is what happened at Backlash too.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy Kevin and Sami Zayn, but I also know that they're going to have a good match. So I don't have to worry about whether the match is going to be good or not.
They are good.
Right. So
they are good workers.
Yeah. So I think 3.5 is good.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think brings my overall to 3.5 anyway. Just because we did have some low ones.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I feel like this show in general was fun, but I feel like some stuff could have been cut.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't need... I don't feel like we needed the Rhea Natty match. I just don't think we did. We could have done that on SmackDown.
I mean, I literally missed it, and I don't feel like I missed
I mean,
too much.
anytime that I get to watch Rhea do anything, I'm going to be happy about it. But like,
you're a super fan.
I am, but at the same time, like,
I am still excited about that. You know, just socially.
Sure, and we can say that it was there for that.
Yes,
but I think there were a few that I was just kind of like, okay, well, I don't remember this. I don't. Yeah. So, for your ignorant slut.
Oh, we're going that way first.
Yes,
okay.
we are. We always do ignorant slut first. Because we end on a high note.
Fair. The fact that there are triple main events. That's
or just multiple main events in general.
Stupid.
Yeah.
That's stupid. And honestly, the fact that I forgot until you were talking about it literally as we were recording, I was like, you know what? No, that's stupid. That's stupid again. I was mad about it the night we were watching it, and I'm mad about it now. It's dumb. Don't do that.
Yeah.
If we're going to make the second spot before the main event, like now a secondary main event, I feel like that's like a participation trophy. Like when I did soccer when I was a kid, and then it was like, you know what? You survived. Good job, kid. Like, you got it. Like, that's how I feel about that.
We were already calling it the semi-main anyway.
Exactly. Don't mess with it. It's like you're getting there if you're in that spot. Like, leave it alone.
Also, if we were going to have the first main event of the night be the first match of the night, just move that Seth Rollins AJ Styles match to the third before the last.
Yeah.
Put it in the Natty Rhea spot. Switch it. Mm-hmm. Switch those two spots.
That's a fair point.
You know, like if you're gonna do it that way, because I think I said that the night of, because they did this at Backlash. They had two main events.
Yeah,
remember? But there was a match in between because it was the Bad Bunny Damian Priest match, and then the tag match. Those were the two main events, but there was a match in between. Yeah, the Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar one. That wasn't considered a main event. Yeah, but it was in between the two main events.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that doesn't.
It's the details, guys. Like,
little things
just
like
switch
that.
them. Like, why does there have to be matches in between? Yeah. So I can agree with that.
Triple main events, stupid.
Don't do them.
That's my ignorant slut. What is your ignorant slut, Shelby?
So mine is the ref for the Brock Cody match that just forgot that
who was in his classes. He's doing really well in his classes.
You know, he's trying. You know, like he still is new, and
bless.
I mean, I'm sorry when a dude legit uses his cast as a weapon the entire match and you don't call him out on it. Like, this was a regular freaking match. Like, this was not a stipulation match. This was not a no DQ.
Nope.
This was not a no holds barred.
Nope.
This was not a falls count anywhere.
Nope.
Like, it was just a regular damn match.
Oh.
And you let him use his titanium ectocast, which is what they called it, as a weapon the entire match. And the dude still lost.
And the dude
So really, I could put Cody Rhodes as honorable mention for this because you had a weapon the entire match and you still lost.
And you still fucked up.
But yeah, that ref, I'm sorry, boo-boo.
I think that's the
just
one
gotta
thing
do
they're
better.
letting Vince have. They're like, no, if I come back, the only thing that I want control over is just to fuck over Cody Rhodes.
I mean,
honestly,
it could be. It could
honestly, he's like holding a vendetta. He's like, you left me. Now this is my turn.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Well, who is your EST?
My EST is Sami Zayn. But
Figured.
because of the social, like I don't mean to get so sappy about this, but he was not allowed to enter the country where so much of his religious, like literally the beginnings of his religion and Christianity, Judaism, like that's such a sacred thing. We're very lucky. Like, if we wanted to go and just fly over and spend our money, we could go and see, because, we're Christian, we could go and see where the spots where Jesus was. Mm-hmm. And that would not be a problem. We're very lucky to not have a ban.
Even if we weren't, we're still not banned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
we're not banned.
Right. Yeah.
We can just go do that. Like,
yeah.
But the fact that this man was able to take his Hajj, to really go see Mecca, to do all of these things, like, I mean, that's religious freedom at its finest. And it's so, like, this is silly. I don't think of watching wrestling as changing the world, but this is big, whether people want to address it or not. This is a man who has openly gone against this country for their choices, for their politics, for a lot of things, and is now, because the fans and because of just our, interactions, is having a chance to come. And even with, I'm sure, years of anger, of disappointment, of not being able to go, still chose to go.
Well, and the fact
I'm sure that money helped, but
it did, but also the fact that he is his heritage is Syrian.
His background of Syrian parents. Mm-hmm. That's,
after all the, with the persecution that goes on over there,
and
the war essentially that's been going on for years and years.
And that's the other thing. It's like, we as a nation, like, we hear this news and it's like this, yes, they clearly hate each other, like, obviously, but you watch that match and the pop for that man.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's just mind-boggling to me.
But I think that speaks to, like, the power of, again, the power of sports and the power of wrestling, because, like, no one cared because they are enjoying the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens storyline, and that's what they wanted to see.
Yes.
And that's what they got.
And they really popped for that man. So
they did, yeah.
I know that this is pretty sappy. I normally am not like this. Like, I've been trying to not cry, like, talking about it. But he's my EST just for the fact of this opportunity and the change that is clearly happening because of wrestling. I know that sounds dumb and oversimplified, but it's crazy. Like, looking back where we started watching this to where we are now, I hope it can only go up from here.
Well, I think it can, because again, we're seeing differences in the way they do women's matches over there, and I think there is some hope in that for the next, like, 50 billion years that they signed a contract over there.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. But I do agree. I feel like that moment was pretty cool, and they've been able to capture some pretty cool moments in the past couple of pay-per-views.
Yeah. It's been really nice to watch.
Yeah.
So, good for you, Sammy.
Good on ya.
Who is your EST, Shelby?
Mustafa.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, yes,
he was awesome
for the way that he interacted with the crowd and, like, was able to be there and everything. But, like, he was just good.
He's
like,
phenomenal.
I really think that he was the best wrestler on that show.
Good for him.
And I'm happy that he was able to wrestle someone like Gunther, because I don't think in the past they would have even given him a shot to do that.
No.
So I think
they worked beautifully together.
They did. They really did.
He really did shine. You're right.
Yeah. So congrats, man.
Yay!
I mean, your first time winning EST, it's an honor.
It's just nice to say your name, honestly.
Exactly.
It's been
nice
a hot ass minute.
See you in a pay-per-view that's not in a battle royal.
Right.
Or in a multi-man tag match or whatever it is.
Or
right?
the Andre the Giant.
Battle Memorial, the KFC, something, one or another. Like, it's nice to see you in just a regular singles match.
Because you are a good wrestler.
He is, and he's been one of their best for a long time.
Underutilized.
I mean, they have a lot of those. So I think hopefully we can move forward and use more people like that. But I think that's pretty much it.
We covered it.
David, I know we have one more wrestling pay-per-view that we're going to cover.
Yes, and you two will be doing that one without me.
Yes. I will be producing.
Yes, Shelby Death Ray Patterson will be running the board, because I learned a lesson last year, which is recording 3 of these in a week is a lot for me.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
I mean, I'll still be editing. I'll be coming in at some point Saturday or Sunday.
Because that is a skill. I still, that's you. That's all you.
Yeah. So your NXT episode might not release until early next week.
That's fine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right.
And then Long Walk Talks is coming back soon.
Yay!
Yay!
Next 2 weeks or so.
Awesome.
Because as I was saying on This Is a Work last night, with the retirement of 2 dogs, we lost This Is a Rewind.
We did,
which was, I know, a passion project of the 2 of you.
Yeah.
Katie and I, you're excused. Katie and I haven't done a Long Walk Teeny Talks in about 2 years.
Stop it.
So
don't
bring it back.
What I'm saying is, we're with you, about to pop a baby out at any point now. We're about to go down to 1, maybe 2 shows. So we got.
I'm gonna be a little busy.
You're gonna be a little busy. I don't think we're gonna be seeing any takeovers for a while. So
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
If I don't revive Long Walk Talks soon, we're gonna be down to just This Is a Work.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get it.
And if I can talk Katie into getting in here and recording again, maybe we'll bring back Teeny Talks at some point.
Do not tease me with that.
Teeny Talks.
Because I love Teeny Talks. I feel like y'all are so cool together. I love it.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, we have our takeover, which was really great, which I'm excited to actually talk about.
I got some beef.
You do have some beef.
I have some beef.
So
y'all.
tune in for the beef.
Listen to the beef.
But yeah, awesome.
Yay.
All right. Well, Shelby, if people want to reach out to you online or follow you on social media, where can they do that at?
You can do that on Instagram at SlayAllRay. And if you want to follow This Is a Takeover, you can do that at This Is a Takeover on Instagram or this_pod on Twitter.
And Gina, what about you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Broadway_baby1218. And I think by accident, my Twitter got reopened.
By you or by someone else?
By me.
Okay.
Because I got sent a link from Robert. Robert is constantly on Twitter. And when I realized it, my app was open. So I might go back to Twitter.
Don't do
that.
I
don't know.
I'm always trying to talk Chris and Robert out of using Twitter.
They use it the most out of anyone I've ever seen.
So much.
So much Twitter usage. It's a lot.
So I was surprised my account even was still existing. I thought I had deleted it.
I think I have one, but I honestly made it in college, and I probably used my ECU EDU email. There's no way I'm getting back into that.
Oh my gosh.
I had my own personal Twitter for a while, and at some point I decided, you know what, I'm just going to delete this so that there is no evidence of anything that I have said over the last however
as
many
you
years.
Speak into a microphone on a podcast.
Right. But I'm not saying the things that I tweeted, though.
Oh, well, that's fair.
But if you do want to follow me online, and I don't recommend it, You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok at DB Hensley. If you want to keep up with Long Walk Productions, you can visit us online at longwalk.us. To see more of our original work or hear past episodes that are no longer streaming, you can follow the YouTube links in the show notes. Thank you very much for listening, and if you enjoy this show or any of the dwindling shows on the Long Walk Podcast Network,
that's a harsh
Don't
word,
say
sir.
That.
We could do a podcast.
you and me,
We should do something.
I'm not dying, you guys. I'm just having a baby. Jesus.
if you want to see me and Gina do a podcast together, leave us a rating and a review
and a
on whatever.
suggestion of what it should be about.
Oh my God. Yeah. How terrifying.
It'll be puns.
Scenes from a hat.
Scenes from a hat.
But please make sure to leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you're listening on.
Oh, thank you so much, David. And thank y'all for listening to this crazy podcast that we do.
Oh, it's awesome.
We love it so much. So for This Is a Takeover, I'm Shelby Ray Patterson.
And I'm Gina Bradford.
And you don't have to be called up to the main roster. You're doing fine where you're at.